A recent flare-up of gang violence in Belize City has prompted an intervention from stakeholders in law enforcement, as well as the penal system. A rash of homicides in May was attributed to rivalries among several groups of criminals. In the wake of those incidents, Commissioner of Police Chester Williams, along with Nur Mohammed and Abdul Nunes of the Behavior Modification and Conflict Management Services, formerly Conscious Youth Development Program, sat down with 27 young men in an attempt to broker a ceasefire. On Friday, a leadership intervention program was held to explore meaningful ways in which the issue of gang violence can be addressed at all levels. Leading the charge is William Dawson.
Being the director of the Wilderness Youth Facility at the Belize Central Prison, I'm privy to work with the young men who have been sent from the court to the prison for committing major offenses. And over the past 4 or 5 years, we've been able to actually collect data that proves that adequate support system and good programmatic guidance, really assist these juveniles in turning around their behavioral patterns, their lifestyle, and improving their literacy.
Regrettably, many of these killings are carried out by teenage minors.
We cannot continue to ignore the fact also that many of these murders that are happening are being committed by young men below the age of 18 years old, and unfortunately they come to the Wilderness Youth Facility.
From a law enforcement perspective, a similar mediation exercise was held on the weekend of May 23rd. Coming out of that meeting, Compol Williams said that the time for talking is done.
I still do believe that something more drastic needs to be done for these gang members to understand that, you know what, your behavior has become intolerable, and as such, drastic action must be taken against you. So we'll see how that plays out. We're going to continue to monitor the situation and see how it goes. And I have said to them in the mediation session that this is the last talk. If it continues, we're not going to sit down and talk no more. Something else will be done.
Prime Minister John Briceño has also weighed in on the matter. While he is against sitting down with the gangs, the PM acknowledges that there are several initiatives to provide employment. The bloodbath, he says, is the result of a desire for self-destruction.
You can't stop people who want to kill themselves. As much as we would not want that to happen, these people have a death wish. They're going after one another. And as much as we put the police on the streets and trying to monitor them as close as possible, they find ways. They find ways. So we just have to be going aggressively at them and trying to, whenever we find anything or get guns off the street or get some of these guys off the street, doing more community policing so that we can get better intelligence to be able to address that issue.
Compared to public perception that gangs are feuding primarily over drugs and territory, some of the biggest fallouts are actually over trivial matters that get blown out of proportion.
A lot of what happens in the street, contrary to the belief that they're killing each other for drugs and that stuff, sometimes these issues start from petty arguments, what we call in Belize hearsay or yeriso. People carrying the wrong information, and to some extent, I will tell you, even influential individuals, without getting into specifics, who carry misinformation to these guys and what they term as use them when it's convenient to do certain tasks for them. And so they're coming out clear, saying that they just want it all to stop. And so mediation is a key factor in all of this, and it comes down to looking at our culture of masculinity.
Reporting for News 5, I am Isani Cayetano.